Hi, Eloise Ansell here. If you don't know me, I'm kind of an intuitive healer. That would probably be the easiest way of summing up what I do. I'm just kind of had this feeling the last few weeks that I want to make more content around just insights that I get from working on people. So I've been in clinics since 2008 full time, and I've worked on many people around the world. I work mainly remotely in distance, and if you want to find out more, there's some sessions you can listen to that I'll put below for free if you want to have a dive in and have a little bit of a shift. So I was doing, well, I'm in the middle of doing, also do a lot of group healing sessions, and I'm doing a series at the moment called Leave Your Baggage Be You, which came out of some awareness and insights around just the subtleties of how we're kind of programmed into who we are. And I was doing session number 7 this morning, and it went into some really interesting insights around family. And then I did a session on a client earlier today, and it wasn't quite the same, but it was in that kind of category. And I was like, maybe I should talk about this on YouTube a bit. So there are, our parents, love them or hate them. Luckily, I love mine. They are, are like part of our creation. Mum and dad get together and create us, and they are the basic building blocks of who we are. And during those early years, they shape and define us a great deal. And so one of the major ways that we become who we are, and we learn how to be a man or a woman or just be in the world, and our kind of overview of what a relationship looks like and how people come together in relationship, a lot of that we learn from our parents, and so they can define and shape massive amounts of our lives and who we are. And so it's always very interesting and fascinating to look at how that has shaped us and formed us and informs our way of living and our thoughts about the world and our insights and our awarenesses about how we be in the world. It's in a way there's no barrier between them and us in those really early years where we're forming all of those basic building blocks of our personality and who we are. So they have a massive influence over us, and we could probably talk about this for decades. And one of the interesting things that we be in terms of our relationships is we quite often try to heal our parents. Now, there's no judgment here. Everybody does it until you don't. So we tend to have a tendency to want to heal our parents, and this is on a very subtle energetic level. Now, some of us will actively try and do that as well. We might do it more dynamically than passively, but we will on some level be trying to heal our parents. And obviously we want to make them happy, and we want to have a good relationship with them, and so that will drive our behavior a little bit anyway. But I'm talking about the real subtleties here of how this shows up. So energetically, we're kind of a little bit like dogs. So dogs are pack animals. They will die for their owners, is what I've been told many times. And I've seen that a lot with people in my life and their pets. Because the dog is the kind of lowest of the pecking order of the family, they will actually take on diseases from other people in the family to heal for them. And cats do the same, but cats are a little bit more clever with it. They won't hold on to it. They normally kind of get rid of it. They either transmute it somehow or pass it on to a dog, apparently, which is always fun. No wonder they clash so much. But yeah, so cats are a lot more they can take things on and then kind of get rid of it, unless they're trying to be more dog. Now, I had a cat who was very dog-like. He'd fetch, like he did everything a dog did, and he would hold on to things a lot more. And he sadly passed a few years ago, and it was that awareness, like the whole way through his life, I'm like, be a cat, stop being a dog, but he didn't really listen. So he took on stuff and passed. But that was his journey, and that was his role, if you like, in life, or whatever, his purpose. And yeah, gorgeous cat, loved him. He was like a massive panther. But so we can be like that with our parents. We kind of take things on for them. So some people will actually be physically sick so that their parents don't have to be that. But we can do things in a very subtle way. And so we can be willing to take energies on, thoughts on, feelings on, all kinds of different ways we can like carry the burden for them, or be there for them in very subtle energetic ways. And it can really, well, it can mess us up, or it could be a big part of our healing journey is to work through all the dynamics of this and let go of some of it. So I had a client today, and it was coming up with the fact that he was taking on like energetic crap for one of his parents, and it was like this codependency in a way, I guess. It was like he was willing to take that on, and they were more than happy to like give that away and for him to process for them. And there are so many people in our family tree, certainly maybe some of our parents, definitely some of our grandparents, and higher up the tree, who never had a chance to look at their emotional stuff. So that kind of be quiet, never talk about the trauma, don't deal with it, don't process it. There was no possibility of any other way. And we can see that, people don't, our grandparents and great grandparents and everything just didn't talk about things, or, everybody in the family knew stuff had happened, but no one ever knew the details of it. And, it was just keep it quiet. And so because no one ever got to voice stuff, they never got to process it. And so it means that in some ways, if you're watching this video, you're probably someone who looks at your stuff and processes things. And you have the opportunity to do that in such a beautiful way that some of our family and our family tree have never had that opportunity to be so open and vulnerable and really do the work and work on ourselves and process. So that also adds to this situation, and I think that's probably a little bit of what was playing out with this client, was that there wasn't the opportunity for the parent to actually let go of some trauma. And so the parent was kind of giving it to the child, and the child's like, yeah, hey, I'll fix you, give it to me. And it was kind of playing out in this interesting dynamic. And we'll see what happens after the session, if it resolves some of the physical stuff that was playing out for him, but it definitely was contributing. So it's very fascinating. There's so many layers to our family crap, as a technical term, that we take on or we're aware of. We're always like psychic sponges picking up information. In those early years of childhood, we're just picking up all of this information, said, unsaid, thoughts, family energies. We're picking it all up and we're taking it all on. And then we can spend the rest of our life trying to clear it out. So, it's a real gift to be, I find it such an honor to be able to help people process, this family gunk and this family stuff, amongst everything else that I end up working on. But it's a really interesting thing that we all need to address and look at if we want to be healthy, happy adults. it's very interesting. I was actually doing another session this morning on a family. So sometimes people book me to do dynamics on the whole family. And I had permission to work on this family, which was gorgeous. And like every single one of them wanted a little bit of work to help the collective, to help them all kind of bond and have better communication and better balance within the family energy. And it felt so much stronger afterwards. It felt like everybody was supporting everyone else equally without kind of that different dynamics that were playing out. It's really interesting to see these things occur and then how it ripples out. If we have the strength of our family and we have a good family unit, that gives us that kind of strength, that almost power and stability in life to go forth and do what we want and be who we want to be. And as we let go of all of the family gunk and we become more of us and not just being a new version of our parents from processing all this stuff, we get to be us more. And with it, leaving all that family baggage behind, but we can still be part of the family. We can still engage with it and have the strength and the support of that unit in order to move forward in life, which is so important. Some people fall out with their families, some people don't like them, some people obviously go through a lot of trauma and drama with their families, and some people are like, nah. So wherever you are on that scale of family dynamics, there's always something to work on, there's always something to explore. And it's there's many different ways of addressing it, but the way I work is to show up and see what the family wants, what the individual needs, and not come with that kind of predefined, right, we're going to do this, that and the other. Just show up and see what we can do to shift the family energy in a great direction and just get everyone working together better boundaries, better support, communication, balance. It's really key. Family is a really interesting thing. So I could talk about this for years, but I just wanted to come on and share some awareness around this. I will put a link to my baggage series below if you're interested in clearing some of yours. A little bit on family in that. It hasn't been like a major focus, but certainly today's session was in that pot, and I haven't even got around to talking about that one yet. So if you want to check out my free sessions, you can below. If you want to check out the baggage series, feel free to have a dive in and have a read, see if it sings to you. You can join it at any time, by the way. I include everybody through all time and space that signs up for things. So yeah, if you're joining it as I'm in the middle of it, or like in 10 years time, that's fine. You can, if it still exists on my website, you can still join. So any comments, thoughts, questions, please, let's have a conversation about it. I'm not a family psychologist, I'm not an expert on this field, but all I know is what I see working with people over the years, and it's fascinating, the little insights that come up with every session. It's just beautiful work. Anyway, have a great day. I'll see you soon. Bye.